We're gonna talk about the Fantastic Four. Okay, so let's talk about the Fantastic Four. Okay, so let's talk numbers. Okay, so the opening weekend, the film debuted at 117.6 million domestically and around 99 million internationally for a worldwide opening of 216 million. The domestic gross at the latest, right now is at 230 million to 232.45 million. The worldwide gross is right now is in the range from 434 million to 437 million and counting. And the budget production of this film was over 200 million. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, these numbers are booty cheeks, no matter how you spin it. And a lot of people are caping saying, "Oh, for the Fantastic Four is good." Look, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people were saying that. A lot of people were going to the degree of saying that this movie was gonna make 700 million. And I was one of those people. I thought this movie was gonna make 650 to 700 million at its box office run. Could it make a big turnaround now? I mean, it could, but I don't really think it is. Like just because Superman is going digital, I don't think that everyone's gonna say, "Oh my god, let me go see Fantastic Four now." No, I don't. I don't really think that. So let's talk about the reality that this movie isn't bad. Obviously, it's an amazing movie, and Marvel Studios right now is paying for their sins. Okay, because when you give fans bad projects and bad Disney Plus projects, you hurt your trust with your fans. And Marvel right now, they're in the process of earning their trust back. So you're going to take some L's, right? Thunderbolts, L. You know what I mean? Great movie, but didn't do the numbers that it needed to do. Captain America: Brave New World. I love that movie. Okay, but the fans, it was a divided movie. A lot of fans didn't like it due to some things that were said in press, obviously. But I mean, a lot of fans, as the movie in general, if we take if we take aside just the press in general, a lot of people didn't like Captain America: Brave New World, and I love that movie. You know what I'm saying? I love Thunderbolts too, and Captain America: Brave New World did 400 million, which to me isn't bad. I thought it was going to do worse. But like Thunderbolts, I'm not even sure if they cracked 400 mil. You know what I mean? So, but this is what happens when you are recouping from your brand damage. It's just a fact. And there's another thing in here too, right? I don't believe it's the economy because Deadpool and Wolverine grossed $1 billion, right? I think a year ago, right? Off of a rated R movie. And I think this is the reality. It's the fact that Superman is the movie that took over July when it comes to superhero films. And the Fantastic Four just didn't, I don't think it sold well to everyone, you know. And even though I think Fantastic Four is a better movie, Superman was everywhere and it reached everywhere. And look, we are in, and I think that we are entering as like movie fans, we are entering in a new era where right now it isn't about the better movie, but it's about how the movie makes people feel. If you look at Minecraft, the movie is not good. Just being real. And mind you, the movie is bad. Like, and I've seen the movie like 4 or 5 times. You know, the movie's bad. But the reality is Minecraft made fans feel something. Now, what is that? Not sure. But it caused a lot of kids to want to go. Lilo and Stitch. I've heard the movie is just, there's some parts of the movie that's terrible. But the movie made people feel something. Superman. I believe Superman made people feel something. And Superman made people feel more than what the Fantastic Four made fans feel. But here's the question that I want to pose to you guys about Superman and the Fantastic Four. If Fantastic Four came out before Superman, would Superman be in the position that the Fantastic Four was in? I don't know the answer. These are just questions. If Fantastic Four was the first movie that came out in July before Jurassic World, because that also did what, 700 million, right? If Fantastic Four came out first before Superman and Jurassic World, would Fantastic Four have hit 700 million or 600 million? You know, because you got to understand, like, the economy doesn't matter, right? But I might be wrong in saying that because I mean, you know, there were some comments I was reading. Homies were saying like, "Yo, I got a family of 5. We went to Jurassic World. We went with Superman. I'm not paying again to go see Fantastic Four because that's 3 big movies in a month." So from a practical standpoint, you know, 3 big movies in 1 month. You think about a family of 4 or 5 going to the, you know, the movies. I mean, a family of 4 or 5 going to the movies. That's over $100. You know what I mean? And we're not talking popcorn. And look, movie rewards are amazing. I love them, but we're not talking popcorn. We're talking drinks, candy. You do that 3 times a month, bro. That's a lot of money, bro. You know? And I think Fantastic Four might have got the brunt of that, of fans like, yo, I already spent most of my check already. You know what I'm saying? The first check went to freaking Jurassic World. The second check went to Superman. I'm not spending my last check on Fantastic Four. And that might have been how it is. You know what I'm saying? And that could be another reason why, you know, the movie just didn't gross as much as it all, you know? And look, here's a wild thing. Darn near a lot of people that I know that are casual fans, I think Superman had a rewatch, like what is the word? It had like a rewatch phenomena. I know a lot of people that saw Superman more than 3 times, and that are casual fans. I know people that went by themselves, or they went with their friends, then they went with their parents, then they went by themselves, and then they went with their girlfriend or boyfriend. I know a lot of people that like like one of my friends just saw Superman a few days ago. Okay, that's his 5th time seeing it. And mind you, I see superhero movies like 6 times, like every run, and he's seen it more than me because I've seen Superman about 4 times. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So I think the one thing with Fantastic Four is, or with some of the reason why I felt is, Marvel Studios, you guys got to learn, man. Positioning matters, and I think Marvel Studios got cocky thinking that they're still the hoo ha, that they were, and they thought they were just going to wash Jurassic World and Superman, and that didn't happen. So you have to learn to position your movies because, to be honest, this movie should have came out in November or December. Would have been the best time to brand a family center type of movie, which the Fantastic Four is. And it raises the question: if Fantastic Four came out in November or December, would that have done better in the box office? You know what I'm saying? Because as I said, the movie itself is not bad. And people cry about the end credit scene. I don't think the end credit scene kills the movie. Like, the movie's still fire. So another thing, right? This box office number doesn't mean that the MCU was cooked either. Because a lot of people want to come around and say, oh, the MCU's cooked, the MCU's cooked, the MCU cooked. Look, they are trying to rebuild, okay? We have some good consistency going on, aside from Ironheart, which I don't think is good. But hey, that show charted. So, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Check this out, right? We get Brave New World, which I think is a good movie, step in the right direction. We get Thunderbolts, big step in the right direction. We get Fantastic Four, bigger step in the right direction. We are about to get Spider-Man, another big step, right? We're going to get a Punisher special, another big step, right? So we are making really big steps now. Wonder Man, I don't know what the heck they're doing with that, and we're just going to act like that doesn't exist, for crying out loud. But like, they're making big steps into the right direction. So, this is my theory. Give it 3 more years of consistency and no BS, and we'll be fine. You got to think about the MCU like an NBA team. Okay. Like, look, they won. Look, they had their LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. They won a bunch of championships. They're in the rebuild mode, and the rebuild is their fault. So I think with just consistency, they'll be okay.